Hello, 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 hello. What's up, people? It is ChubbyRay Comics live on a Wednesday afternoon. Hope you guys are having a nice day wherever you live. Hope your weather's good. I know it's supposedly good here. I haven't been outside, but my wife told me it's very nice outside. So I hope wherever you are, it's nice as well. Ready to go through the afternoon talking comics, my favorite thing in the world. To talk comics with my friends. Makes me happy. That is what I enjoy doing. I'm setting my background. Do I go with Green Lanterns? Do I go with Spider-Man? Do I go with Batman? Or do I go with the Annihilation Conquest? What do you guys think for background? Huh? I like Spider-Man. I don't know. I'm thinking Spider-Man. Let me know if you guys have any other opinions on that. Hope everybody's doing. I see people are already in the chat room. Let's go, says Mr. Negative. Well, hello, Mr. Negative. He says it's a great day to be here. It is a great day, buddy. Andrew says, hello, Andrew. G'day. DP says, what's good, everyone? Getting ready for this week to be done. Weekends need to come already. It was a slow week, man. There's no omnibuses this week. I'm lonely without any omnibuses. I need my omnibuses. There was no omnibuses, no epic collections, no DC Finest, no absolutes, no deluxe editions. This is that's a bad week for me. That's a bad week. I'm sure you guys are experiencing it too. It's a bad week, everybody. We need to hurry up and get this week over with. Get on to the next week. This is a very, very slow week. Hi, Darth Monkey. What's going on, man? Wes is in. What's going on, Wes? JC says, bro, you're on every day. I'm on. Let's see. When am I on? I'm on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, so I'm on 5 days. No, I'm on 5 days a week. Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out how to go live on Thursday, but like tomorrow, I do a morning show. So I do my regular morning show in the morning. Then I'm doing near mint condition Marvel solicits in the afternoon, early afternoon or late morning. But it's noon Central Time is like, that's afternoon, right? Then we have, then I've got my subscriber show for my radio shows at 6:00 tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon. So I just don't have time, but I'm trying to find a time to fit. I'm trying to fit a comic show in there somewhere, but I don't know. What's up, Chubbies? Gracie Patrick says, what's up, Chubbies? I love it. Wes says I should go with Annihilation. MZ says Spider-Man. Gandowski says Spider-Man. I love it. Hello, Xbox by degree. What's everybody been reading? Just started The Walking Dead Compendium 1, and so far I'm loving it. Love it. Squint says, hello, Stain Gang. So you might like Chubby's, Gracie, but Squint says the Stain Gang. By the way, Wes is at work, and he says it's very slow today. I'm sorry to hear that, Wes. That sucks. Diego's in. What's up, Diego? How are things down in Costa Rica? Ray, did you have Easter together with? No, I didn't go to any. No, my wife. It was my wife and I, and my daughter. My daughter was gonna come over, but she worked 7 days in a row. So her first day off was Easter, and she texts my wife. She texts my wife around noon and said, is it okay if I sleep in? And my wife said, you don't have to come over to our house for Easter. You don't, go ahead and sleep if you're tired. So my daughter didn't even come over. It was just my wife and I. We just hung out and we watched, I I watched the DC Near Mint Condition had a show where Omar and gang announced all the DC stuff coming out, and that's what I did on Easter. I watched Near Mint Condition all day. That's what I did, and it was a fantastic Easter. That was a perfect Easter for me. I'm building a new bookshelf. I bought an hour ago. Some real sweat though. Good for grills. Good for you. Good for you, Diego. What's up, Chip Crisper? Hey, Ray, I started Rook Exodus. It's really good. The artwork, dude, the artwork is fantastic, isn't it? The artwork in Rook Exodus is amazing. I love Jeff Johns, but the best part of that book is Jason Fabak. His artwork is spectacular. Wesley says, I see more of Ray than I do myself. Well, that's a good thing, buddy. Come on. I'm a delightful face to see. All right. Sometimes. Chewy Cases, and what's up, Queso? Hello, 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 hello. Hello, Queso. I'm going to Books A Million tonight or tomorrow night. Can't wait to check out their comics selection. What's Books A Million? I've never, is that a chain or a local store where you are? Because Thrill Hill, don't you live in Tennessee or somewhere? Don't you live in Tennessee or Kentucky? I'm trying to think. He must have won something. That's how I know his address. But I think it's Tennessee or Kentucky. I'm guessing. I'm still reading my Daredevil epic. We'll try and finish it before the weekend's up. Good for you, brother. Ivy Moons, and what's up, Ivy Moon? Hey, Ray, my Superman and Chain came in. Thank you. Love it. Love it. That makes me glad. Hello, everyone. What's up, Brian? How you doing, brother? Mr. Negative says, just finished Monstrous. I'll read Morrison's new X-Men. Oh, that's cool. Doing it digitally, though. I don't read digital books. Are they good? I have in the past. But, yeah, I'd rather read real books. You know what I mean? I like how you could read digital in the dark without lights on, but I do like my actual hard copies of books. I'm reading the new Green Lantern. So far, 33 issues. I read digital single issue. That's cool. Picked up Supergirl being super, Paper Girls Volume 2 and Sunstone Volume 2. Yeah, it's a slow week, man. It's a slow week. Ray just got comic book haul put away. I hope you took a picture for the Discord, List Master. Wes says Books A Million is a bookstore chain like Barnes. Yeah, I've never heard. We don't have that around here. I'll be damned. Squint says, Ray, do you have? No, I do not. I have back in 90, I want to say 91 or 92. I was working in Peoria, Illinois. And the Fate of it, I think it was called Fate of Atlantis, came out on Dark Horse, Indiana Jones. And it was very good. It was very good. But that's the only Indiana Jones comic I've ever read, and it was great. But it should just not be number one on the Near Mint Condition poll. It bothers me that it's number one. Thrill Hill says, I'm in Tennessee right now on vacation. I used to have Books A Million back where I lived, but it went out. The closest bookstore now is Barnes & Noble. So I'll be damned. I've never heard of Books A Million. Wes says, I read digital for singles when I don't have something physically that I want to read. Prefer physical, though. Yeah. I like physical so I can look at it and say, I've read that. I've read that. You know what I mean? Brian says, I believe I'm ordering the 7 Soldiers omnibus next. Awesome, brother. Awesome. All right. Los Masters omnibus haul today. Amazing Spider-Man by J. Michael Straczynski. Yes. Hulks by Donnie Cates. That's awesome, brother. Good for you. That's a nice haul. Was looking forward to Moon Knight, but my shop hasn't gotten in their PRH books in over 3 weeks. Yeah, I know there's a lot of there's something going on with Penguin Random House. I don't know what it is, but Thunder says he's got a big comic haul coming in a few days and he can't wait. Wes says, is that Morrison's 7 Soldiers as compared to Ray, were you happy with the near mint condition poll result? Yeah, I was. Except I wish number one was something else. You know, but I was happy with the poll results. I was happy that I had I ended up with, let's see, I actually kept track. I'm pulling out my notes, everyone, of the poll results. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, I didn't get that one. I got Iron Man was like number 5. Big Time was 13. Civil War was number 4. Punisher Rucka was 10. And Dark Force was, I think, 17. So I got 5 books on the near mint poll, which I know this off the top of my head. That's how geeky I am. Here's my notes. There's my notes. And if you look, my notes stop at number 2. I didn't even write down number 1. It was too depressing. And here's the second page. First 30 through number 1 is on the is one page, and here's the other page. Here's 60 through 30. I'm such a geek. I tell you guys that, and you don't believe it, but I'm telling you, that's how geeky I am. I took notes. I had notes during the poll. Let's see that Invincible omnibus, dudes. Or let's see that. Yeah, I can show you that Invincible. You guys want to see it? Here is the Invincible omnibus. Still has plastic on it. I have not opened it yet, but I'm currently reading a really fun omnibus right now. But this is look at how thick this Invincible omnibus is. Oh my God. This is going to be great. Oh, love it. Love it. Ellis says, nice ring you got there, Ray. Thank you, Ellis. I can fly. I can fly with this ring. Love it. Love my ring. By the way, Russell says he just ordered Dark Patterns. You guys all seem to like, dude, Dark Patterns is shockingly, and I should, maybe not shockingly, because I knew it was going to be good. I knew it was going to be good because it's Dan. I knew Dan Waters is great. I love Dan Waters. But I am not a fan of Hayden Sherman usually. But I got to tell you, I was past being impressed. I was blown away. I was blown away by how good Dark Patterns is. Anybody else got the same thing? Like, I knew it was going to be good, but I had no idea it was going to be as good as it was. It was so good. There's good, and then there's exceptional. And it is an exceptional book. I knew I was expecting good. I was not expecting, wow. What I got was insanely good. I know you aren't into magic very much, but who's your favorite magic? Oh, Doctor Strange. I read Doctor Strange by Jed McKay is so good. It's so, so good. Chris says, gave a super chat asking for more ChubbyRay than you. Oh, you're very nice, but I don't, man, to be honest, guys, I'm serious, and I mean this seriously. I love Omar, and I'll do anything that Omar asks, I'll do. All right, I will. But when it comes to the poll shows, I'm serious. I'd rather watch and take notes. I love those poll shows. I love those poll shows. I really do. They are exceptional. And I I just enjoy watching them so much. I really do. I enjoy watching them. It's for me, it's like Super Bowl. I just love it. I get the Super Bowl, the Marvel Omnibus poll results, and the DC Omnibus poll and poll results shows. Those are my favorite days of the year. So that was nice of you, Chris. I didn't see that, but thank you. Did you expect Indie Omnibus was going to be number one? Well, it was number one last year, and I was hoping that it wouldn't be. It did not surprise me. It did not surprise me, but I was hoping it would be something else. And I guess from what Crisis said, I guess it wasn't a lot of votes. By the way, Ray, what's your best Hulk omnibus? All right, this is just me, guys. My favorite, this is not going to be popular, but my favorite Hulk omnibus is Red Hulk by Jeff Loeb. I love Jeff Loeb's. I loved Red Hulk. That's my favorite Hulk omnibus. I think Ewing's Immortal Hulk is okay, but I'm certainly not as fascinated by it as everyone else. You know, Los Messer wants to know if I hurt my back lifting that. No, I did not, but man, it's heavy. It is very heavy. That Invincible omnibus is, when you guys, if you get it, when you get the delivery, my God, it's a heavy delivery. The box is heavy. Does anyone know if the Walking Dead Deluxe is going to be collected in Omni or? I think it's. I'll tell you, I think it's going to be an omnibus with the success of Invincible. With the success of Invincible, I'm thinking Image is going to start doing. Omnibuses. Because I don't think they were ready. I don't think they were ready for how many people bought the Invincible omnibus. I think the direct market cover might be gone. And there's still some regular covers left, but I'm pretty sure that it's selling more than they thought, which is good. Makes me happy. I was shocked at the price of the Last Days of the JSA trade paperback. Glad I already had one. Last Days of the JSA trade paperback, is it expensive? That coffee's good. It's hot, but it's good. For some reason, I don't like buying Marvel collections. If there's something I want to read, I do it digitally. Only character I buy physical form for Marvel is Moon Knight. That's cool, man. Everybody keeps telling me that I've got to read Moon Knight by Jed MacKay. I have never read Moon Knight by Jed MacKay, but I love Jed MacKay. So hold on, let me see if maybe I'll open that if it's unopened. Hold on, guys, let me check. I don't know if I opened it up. Where's Moon Knight? All right. Here we go. Moon Knight by Jed MacKay. It's unopened. Maybe that's what I'll open today. Everybody talks about how good this is, and I've never read it. Maybe that'll be one of my next reads. What do you think? I grabbed it. We'll see if I open it today. I find Legion of Superheroes hard to follow. Any way to get into it better? Well, what are you starting with? JC, I'll tell you what, if you start with the DC Finest put out a Legion book last year. Or yeah, was it 25? Yeah, I think it was 25 when it came out. And you could start, if you start there, but how do you follow it up? You know what I mean? If you start with the DC Finest Legion, And then the thing is, there's no collected editions after that. You know what I mean? They're really hard to find. It's hard to find Bronze Age collected editions of the Legion. I think they need more. That's why I keep saying they need a Bronze Age omnibus. We need a Legion of Superheroes Bronze Age omnibus. And then we need Paul Levitt's Baxter series. And then we need all the stuff from when they changed the name. It was originally called Superboy. Then the name was changed to Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. So they need to get a DC Finest, Superboy, and the Legion of Superheroes, and have all the issues that were called Superboy and Legion of Superheroes, or an omnibus called Superboy and Legion of Superheroes. And then they dropped Superboy and it just became Legion of Superheroes. And that started around 250 or something like that. And that was just Legion of Superheroes until it went to Baxter series. And then Baxter series started with number 1 in like 1985, 86, I think. And then after that, it was 5 years after. That's not a good start. 5 years after is a horrible starting point. But eventually Mark Waid did a reboot, a Legion reboot, and restarted it. So if you get the Mark Waid stuff, which is an omnibus is coming out in December, which would be a good starting point. You'll understand it more if you read it that way. Wesley says, I'm about done ordering from In-Stock Trades. I ordered Dark Patterns of both Superman compendiums from them last week, and it's just been, dude, I'm telling you, you know where you gotta order from. You know where you gotta order from. Today's show, fueled by crooksandbanditscomics.com. Raid their omnibuses and trades. Drop code ChubbyRay Comics and slice $2 off every single book. Yeah. I mean, Wes, give an order. Let Adam fill an order, brother. It would be shipped already. Trust me. It would be shipped already. You wouldn't be sitting there waiting. I'm just saying. Jay Riff says, hey, everyone, I got Batman Dark Patterns and Green Lantern trade paperback volume 1 and 2. Awesome, brother. Are you talking, Jay Riff, did you get the Jeremy Adams Green Lanterns? Because the Jeremy Adams paperbacks are awesome, man. Here we go. Here's the Jeremy Adams stuff. It's so good. I'm going to plug Jeremy Adams because his writing is so fantastic. Here you go. Number 1, this is a great paperback. Number 2, well, one has the Night Terror stuff in it. The Night Terrors isn't that good, but 2's good. It's got the Absolute Power stuff, I think. 3's good, or does 3's got the Absolute Power stuff in it. 3's got Absolute Power stuff, and then 4. So these are the Jeremy Adams paperbacks, and they're very good. It's a good read. These are Jeremy Adams Green Lantern books are a very good read. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. And then he's got the Green Lantern Corps stuff, which is really good too. Saran, I have something you have to watch. Should I show Sharon, guys? Sharon, I've got something you need to watch, brother. All right? Please watch this, everyone. Everyone watch. Oh, hold on. Single issues. I got trade paperbacks. I got omnibuses, collected editions, epic collections, DC Finest, absolute editions, modern epic collections, compendiums. I love them. I love talking about them. And I love giving stuff away. Like Star Wars, The New Republic, Omnibus. By the way, people who are members of the Patreon, you've already seen this. So please be quiet for everybody else. Omnibus Volume 1. We had to get a new winner. The original winner decided to give it to someone else. So I went back to the original 4,000 video and got another random generated number. I counted down, and I'm happy to announce the winner is Saran Ram. Saran Ram 6007. You win Star Wars Volume 1 of the New Republic. Saran, congratulations, brother. Congratulations. You win this. I'm very, very happy for you. And it's very heavy. So we'll get it shipped out as soon as possible. Get me your address. Send me an email, chubbyraycomics@gmail.com. Get me your address and we'll get it sent out to you as soon as possible. Congratulations, buddy. There you go. That's the video that went up last night on Patreon. So congrats to Saran Ram. You won, brother. Get me all your information and we'll get it. When is the Dainty Scissors Chubby Ray code? I should get, you're right, I should do Dainty Scissors as a code. The Dainty Scissors. I will use my Dainty Scissors to open the Moon Knight omnibus later. Ivy Moon says, I need a question. Oh, that's a question book by Dan Waters. I would get that. I would definitely get that. Oh, man. DP says, Ray, do you finish a book before starting? Yeah, most of the time. Well, I'm usually reading I'll read several books at once. But once I finish a book, I start a new one. Yes. Yeah. I haven't read it, all of it, but Peter David's Hulk. Yeah, Peter David's Hulk's great. But I'm telling you, my favorite is Jeff Loeb. I love the Red Hulk. I think it's great. Looking forward to the Zatanna Omnibus by Paul Dini next month. I'm definitely getting it. Yeah. Russell says, I almost forgot to hit like. That's blasphemy. Yes, guys, let's hit that like. I don't know how many likes. I don't know how many likes we have, but I know we've got over 50 viewers. We should have over 50 likes, right? So please give me a like. I'd really appreciate it. Ray, are you looking forward to the Death in the Family? Oh, yeah. DC Finest, Death in the Family. Oh, because we're going to get this is what I love about DC Finest. We get all of the DC Finest. We get the whole year. We get a whole year worth of issues or a whole year or 2 years. So it'll give us that whole time frame. So we got Red Skies. I'm trying to think what we got, what we had. We had Red Skies, and we're building up to it. And then 80? I can't remember the year. Was it 89 maybe? Something like that? I could be wrong. Or was it 88? So we'll get all the issues around it too, because DC Finest fills in that whole era that they're printing. And then you get all the stories. So yes, I'm looking forward to it. I want to get all the Batman. I'd love to get all the modern Batman stuff from the Bronze Age to now. I'd love to see every issue of Batman covered. Love it. Has Image made other omnibus? No, the only one I know of is Invincible. Ed McGuinness art was, yes, I love Ed McGuinness's art, and I love the way it looked. I loved the story. That's my favorite Hulk book. But they're all good, but I haven't read Cates's Hulk. But I'm planning on reading it this year. I'll be first in line for the Walking Dead Deluxe on the bus. Well, I'd love to see it. It'd be nice to get an omnibus of it, right? Right? Wes says, I have Last Days of the JSA. Ivy Moon says, I'd love more Image omnibuses. I need a Noctera omnibus. It's awesome. Ray, have you read Phantom Stranger omnibus? I'm considering getting that next. Yeah, I don't have the Phantom Stranger. I have, what do I have? I have the Question. I have the Question, but I don't have the Phantom Stranger. I think it's one of the ones I don't have. Oh shit! Now I'm gonna spend the whole show wanting to get it. If it's an omnibus I don't have, I'll go crazy looking for it. Jed McKay's Moon Knight is my favorite Moon Knight run. It's amazing. We need a volume 2. Awesome. Well, Jed McKay's still doing Moon Knight, isn't he? So, I mean, I think he's still on it. I'm going to read it. I'll open it today. What's going on, Papa John? Wesley says Phantom Stranger is really cool. Oh, that's awesome. Mr. Negative says, I love Jed's Moon Knight. Missed it in omnibus, though. Hope they do a reprint whenever the run's really over. I think they'll definitely do they're definitely going to do a volume 2, right? I think he really likes that comic. Corey's in saying, hey, I'm sorry. Big Q says, hello, Ray. Come in, Ray. Am I banned? No, you're not banned from the show, Big Q. Squint says, hey, DP, UPS is giving you hell, huh? Yes, the smell. Wish you could send it through the internet. I'd love to get the smell of omnibus sent through the internet. That'd be cool, right? Except I don't want everybody to get sick from that toxic Chinese ink. I'm sure they announce a Legion omnibus once we get that ongoing. Dude, with the Legion of Superheroes omnibus coming out in December, I'm thinking of buying 2 copies just because I love the Legion of Superheroes, but I want DC to know how much those Legion of Superheroes omnibus are wanted, so they'll put out more. We are ready. We are ready for some more Legion omnibuses. Steve's in saying, good evening, comic enthusiasts. Well, hello, Steve, and good evening to you. Do you have the 2 DC Who's Who omnibuses? No, I don't. No, I wish I had it. I don't have the Who's Who. Damn. Wasn't there yes, there was a new, there were 2, I'll explain the Baxter series. Comics were going great. It was after Crisis. Everyone was buying comics. This is when I was a kid. I got comics at like the dime store. But for some reason, they decided people were starting to open comic book stores in the 80s. There had never been such a thing as a comic book store. So they started opening up comic book stores in major cities. And so DC decided to turn some comics into more better comics, better paper, printed better, and more durable. All the other comics they print, the Superman, the Batman, stuff like that, they were in the dime store, little cheap stores like that. Okay. But they made better comics and they sold those through comic book stores. And the paper they used, it was called Baxter paper. So, and the 2 titles they chose were the New Teen Titans and the Legion of Superheroes. So those books became unavailable. You couldn't buy them at the supermarket or the dime store or any of those places that sold comics, because this is back in the 80s. I think Walmarts were just getting started in the 80s. I think Walmarts came in the mid 80s. That's where the first Walmarts were getting started. So they had created this, they had created these new books that they were selling just in comic book stores. And it was Legion of Superheroes and New Teen Titans. So there you go. Those were the books. Those were the books that that were being those were Baxter series books. The only thing is I couldn't buy it anymore because we didn't have where I grew up, we didn't have a comic book store. It was too new. They had them in Chicago, but I was born in Chicago, but I grew up in downstate Illinois. So in fact, the town that I grew up in, The town I grew up in still does not have a comic book shop and has never had a comic book shop. So, you know, I don't know what kids from there now. I guess they're just screwed. Let's see. Squint says, or no, hunting for a title, storm into crooksandbanditscomics.com and fire a letter to Adam, support at crooksandbandits.com, and let the man unleash pure comic sorcery. Like, send an email to Adam, say, hey, Adam, can you get and name the title? He can probably order it. Like, Wes, you were getting Dark Patterns, and if you're getting Starman, let him see if he can get Starman for you. He'd send you an email back, tell you if he can get it. You know? Spider-Man Maximum Carnage Epic Collection. Love it. That's a nice epic you're reading, man. It should hopefully come tomorrow instead. I'm not sure what that answer was to. JC said, I heard it said that video games is taken over because you are immersed in the world of the music, the graphics, the sound, and the story, and that comics and TV shows are more passive entertainment. All I know is comics, guys, comics were supposed to have died 30 years ago. Doesn't look like they're dead to me. Doesn't look like that. And I'm angry this week because we didn't get an omnibus released. So I got to tell you, I keep hearing the comics are dead thing, but it seems to me comics are selling better than ever. So I don't know. By the way, did Saran answer me, guys, when I played the video? I hope he answered. Let's see. I'm trying to keep up with the chat, but I'm already behind. Every time I try. Galandasi says, congrats, Saranram. I hope he watched the video. Ivy says, congrats. Squint says, everybody's saying congrats. I don't see Saranram. Is he talking? Oh, there he is. Okay. Awesome. There you go, Saran. Send me a email and I'll get that out to you, brother. Yep. I did it after the show. You guys were talking about, so here's what I did. I went to Siri and I said, Siri, give me a random number. It gave me a random number. And I just chose the comment and it was Saranram. That's who won. It was that simple. So I did it like 5 minutes after the show was over. Pretty cool. Welcome to ChubbyRay Comics Live. Subscribe, like, and share. Everyone share pumps raw cosmic juice into the channel and makes this beast grow louder, wilder, and unstoppable. Thank you. Yeah, yesterday when everybody started liking and sharing the streams went from like 40 people to like 80 people. It was crazy. So the more you guys share and like, then the algorithm picks it up and it's really cool. So if you do that, I'd really appreciate it. I like getting on the algorithm yesterday. It was cool. Pretty sure you said Marvel Trucker Chris. Nope, did not say that. Sorry, buddy. Ray, how do you stay up reading every night? When do you sleep or meditate? Thank you, Big Q. I read last night until, when did I read till? I read till 5 a.m. I'm reading, guys. I'm reading the Earth 2 Omnibus. Oh my God. The Earth 2 Omnibus is so good. Oh my God. It's so freaking good. I'm telling you, I could have read. I had to do a show at 8:00 this morning. I could have read till 7:55. That's how good it is. By the way, you guys who have seen artwork of the Stain, my artwork of the Stain, or the great artwork that I've gotten I've gotten great artwork of the stain from different artists. If you haven't seen it, I'll show you some artwork of the stain. Where is it? If I could find it. I'm trying to show it if I can find it. Where did that artwork go? Here is the artwork of the stain. Here we go. All right. The artwork of the stain that different artists have been sending in. And remember, I announced that we're going to do a radio drama version of the stain origin. I'll record that and make it available on the Patreon. Okay. But if anyone wants to know who the stain is based on a real person. The stain is based on a real person whose name is Steve. He's mild-mannered Steve. And then he becomes the stain. By the way, he is in the chat room, guys. The stain, the actual stain is in the chat room. And it's right there. His name's Steve Stanton. If you guys ever want to see him, you let me know. And I'll send a link to the stain so he can link up with us so you guys can see him. He is the actual stain. That's who the character is based on. And he'll be playing the role. He'll be playing the role of the stain in the radio drama that we're going to produce. So I'm very excited, to get that done. And then I'm going to hire an artist and actually create I want to actually make the comic book, but I know it's going to be expensive. I got to save money and all that stuff. But the plan is to make a comic book called The Stain. I can't wait. I think Ray was up. Yeah. 4:30 last night. Yeah. I was in the Discord. I went into my channel's Discord. What time did I go in? I went into the channel's Discord and said I was up reading. And that was at, 4:32. 4:32. I loved it. And it was amazing. I don't want to get trapped in my Discord, but I'm reading the Discord. I should probably stop. Yeah. Gandas says, yes, that is the stain. The stain is actually in the room. The one and only stain. Mr. Negative says, can't wait for Death in the Family. Have never read it, but I've loved the other Batman runs around that time. Red Sky. Dude, you haven't read it? Oh, you gotta, it's crazy. Batman Death in the Family is insane. The Joker ends up becoming a citizen of, I'm trying to think of the name. What's the name of the country? DC Comics invented a country. What's the name of the country? I can't remember the name of it. But that country, the Joker becomes a citizen of that country. And then they name him an official role. So he ends up getting diplomatic immunity. It's insane. If you've never read Death in the Family, the things that lead up to the death of Jason Todd are crazy. There's a whole, I don't want to give spoilers away, but it's insane. Yeah, you've got to read it. I think people will love the DC Finest. By the way, the Stain says, good evening, everyone. That's great. Oh, by the way, James says Image also made Rat Queens into anonymous. I've never heard of Rat Queens. Wow, I'll be damned. I didn't know that, James. That's awesome. Los Masters, I have to have a reading list for my reading. It's chaotic and seems to go nowhere if I don't. So I picked 4 books and read 2 issues each from each book. That's awesome, brother. I've got reading lists now. I got my reading list for October that I'm on, but I'm already flying through it and I'm adding stuff to it. I know I shouldn't, but I'm already reading through it or cheating. JC says, I've heard Eric Larson does not care for the omnibus format. That's why Image releases trade paperbacks and compendiums. Well, I don't know. Well, Eric Larson's releasing Savage Dragon Ultimate Collection. So that's a hardcover collected edition. He's got 4 volumes of it. Ray, what's your favorite Legion of Superheroes story? Oh, there's so many. It's hard to pick just one. The Great Darkness Saga is really good, but there are so many great stories. My favorite, I'd probably go the one that's in the Man of Steel Volume 2 by the John Byrne collection. The one where Superboy, where the time traveler reveals that Superboy doesn't really exist. And it's I've talked about the story before. It's such an insane story. It is really an insane story. So, by the way, Ellis says Red Skies takes place in 85, 86. The Killing Joke takes place in 87, 88. Or Red Skies takes place between 85 and 87. The Killing Joke goes 87 through 88. Death in the Family will be through 1988. And Blind Justice will be 1988 and 1989. Oh, that's awesome. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up. Paolo says, read Dark Patterns when it came out single issue format and was able to sell it on eBay for $200 and will buy it in trade on EIST for 40%. The only problem is, like Wes said, be careful. They haven't shipped his out yet. I don't know what's going on. Mine was great. I loved it. Oh, what the hell is the dime store? It sounds like a place. No, the dime store was in like the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. A dime store was a place where everything, it's kind of, you know what a dollar store is these days? They have a place called Dollar Store. Things aren't really a dollar, but they call it the dollar store. Before they had a dollar store, they had a place called the dime store back in the 70s and 80s. And the dime store was where that's where I would get my comics, at the dime store. In the town where I grew up, there's a dime store. It had a pharmacy. Basically, it's a convenience store. It had some groceries. It had a lot of pens, pencils, notebooks, just a bunch of cheap crap. You can get toiletries. You can get napkins, party favors. But they also had a pharmacy, and they also had comic books. And they had cards, That's it. If somebody was having a birthday, that's where you go to get a birthday card, was a dime store. And that was big in the 70s. But then they went away. They went away when Walmart came and put all the dime stores. There was also a place called Fashion Lane. There was the dime store and there was Fashion Lane. And both those places went away when Walmart showed up. You young kids, you young guys, you're not familiar with it, but that's how life used to be. You could probably get a half-chewed piece of gum and a breath of air if a dime store existed. Yeah. And there were things that cost a dime. Cyclops fan says, I think the 80s were the best era for comics. DC were so innovative with their products. Prestige format, Baxter series, new format, the Legion, Titans reprints, Watchmen, Crisis, Dark Knight Returns. Yeah, DC was the company in the 80s. Cyclops fan, I asked this of Economo, is Cyclops fan Kal-El, or are they two different people? Are they two different? Because the art of Shit-Stain Steve, or the art of the stain, is from Cyclops fan. But I thought Cyclops fan was Kal-El. Is that true or not? Someone let me know from the Discord. Let's see. What did I miss? What are we congratulating Saram for? I showed the video of the person who won the Star Wars omnibus, and it was Saran. That's what we're congratulating for. It's interesting how you dislike Elseworlds but enjoy stuff like Earth 2 or Absolute Ultimate. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Elseworlds. I don't like Elseworlds. I just don't like it. But yet, I love Earth. I love Earth 2, Wes. I love it. It's fantastic. Brian says his only gripe with Legion of Superheroes is the villain hunter. He has pigtails. Or the villain hunter. He has pigtails. That's not threatening. Dude, the Legion has great villains. The Fatal Five, Eclipso, Time Trapper, Mordru. Oh my God. The Legion has the best villains of anybody. The Grimbor. Oh, the Legion has incredible villains. I just love it. Los Master says reading World Tree. Oh, that's awesome. I got World Tree. Feudal Being says, I have both Batman Paul Dini omnibus and the Hush Saga omnibus. Which should I get rid of? Well, no, I mean, a lot of Paul Dini stuff is in the Hush omnibus. A lot of Paul Dini stuff is in the Hush omnibus. That is true. But there are things in the Paul Dini omnibus that are not in the Hush omnibus. And Hush itself is not in the Paul Dini omnibus. So, Feudal Being, I would say keep them both. Because if you look, I have the Hush omnibus and the Paul Dini omnibus. I have both of them. So, that is my preference. That is my preference. You can do whatever you want with your preference, but mine is both. That's what I would suggest. By the way, I need another omnibus that fits in here. You know what I mean? I just noticed that there's room for let me find an omnibus thin enough to go in there. This is the new 52 Detective. Let's see if this will fit. Oh, if this would fit, it would be awesome, guys. Keep your fingers crossed for me. Keep your fingers crossed. Come on, please fit. Please fit. Please fit. I don't think it's going to fit. Come on, let's get in there. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, you could fit. You could fit. Is it going to fit? And it wants to. It wants to. It wants to. Yes. I don't know if I'll be able to get anything out of it. No, I think it's too tight. Look, they all went in, though. They're all in. They're all in. I just don't know if they're going to stay in because I don't know how I'm going to get anything out. There you go. Look at that. I fit them all in. They're all in. Wow. So, and volume 2 is coming. That'll go right here in the bottom shelf. And Tom King volume 2 is coming, so I got room for that. Then I got the Tynans. Oh, I'm so weird. Forgive my weirdness. JD says, Steve, I loved your performance of dropping your pants at the Cubs game. Oh my God. That was fantastic. For those that know what you're talking about, it's funny. For those that don't, I'm sure you're confused. Ray, you got to crack that Avengers by Kurt Busiek omnibus. I love George. I'm reading volume 1. It's in the other room. In the original printing, it was Iran, but it was later changed to Quran. Yeah, that's the name. That's the name that DC uses, Quran. Which I think, and they still use it. Yeah, in Death of the Family, the Joker becomes, I know, but they had to change it, Oren. They changed it to Quran. It's not Iran anymore. They had to change it. In fact, DC, I think they changed it. They did a reprint of the comics, and I think they changed it in the reprint. That's how, because it was an issue. It was an issue when they did it. And then they had to, I think they changed it then. Samantha says, Ray, have you read the series about what would have happened if Jason Todd didn't die? I think it's called Robin Lived by D. Mateus. No, I've never read it. They have, what's it called? Robin Lives? I've never heard of it, Samantha. Crap, I'll have to get that. That's awesome. Unbelievable. JD says, I ordered the Batman Beyond Unlimited Compendium. I heard it includes Return of the Joker. I've heard I've never bought a Batman Beyond comic, and I've heard that's good, but I've never bought. I'm curious to see how DC Finest maps events like Nightfall and No Man's Land compared to the collections we already have in. I think DC Finest, I love DC Finest books. I think they're amazing. By the way, Omar is going to do a DC Finest poll. Oh, now that's a show I'd be on. If he asked me to be on that, I'd be happy to be on that. I would love, but I'm sure poor Crisis is going to be going nuts trying to map all that stuff. Oh, a DC Finest poll show is going to be awesome. Cyclops fan says his favorite Legion story is Espionage Squad revealing one of their team. Oh my God. How about when they revealed that one of the members of the team was actually related to the person who founded it? Oh my God. The Legion has so many great, there are so many great stories. The Legion of Superheroes is such an amazing read. By the way, Paolo, thank you, Paolo. I saw you re-up for 2 months. Thank you, buddy. Paulo says, Ray, I was talking to my friend about Hickman's Secret Wars. What is the proper reading order leading to the buildup so I can fully enjoy reading Hickman's Doom? You start with Fantastic Four. It's Fantastic Four. Then you have the Avengers, Volume 1, Volume 2, and then go into Secret Wars. That's the Avengers stuff with when he was writing both the New Avengers and the Avengers, that stuff's awesome. Plus, you can also get Infinity. You can get the Infinity Deluxe, or you can just read Infinity in Volume 1. But yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything. I mean, there's what was the one? The Secret Warriors. But I don't know where that fits in. I don't know. I think that might be between Fantastic Four and Avengers, but I don't know. Oh, Cyclops fan says he's not Kal-El. They're not the same person. Oh, Wes says, or Thunder says Kal-El and Cyclops fan are two different people. Awesome. Well, Kal-El, or Cyclops fan, I love your stain art, brother. I think it's great. I think it is fantastic, buddy. Thank you so much. Kal-El, I'd love to talk to you about doing the art for the comic. Yeah. By the way, Paulo says Fantastic Four, Avengers, Secret Wars. That's what I thought. That's what Wesley says, but I think Secret Warriors is in there somewhere, but I don't know where it fits, and I don't know how crucial it is. So Secret Warriors fits in there somewhere, but I don't know how crucial it is. Ray, besides Fractions run, what Iron Man runs would you recommend? Well, I love Iron Man. The David Michelinie stuff's good. The Denny O'Neil stuff's good. Bendis has good. There's a bunch of great Iron Man. The Warren Ellis stuff's really good. There's some amazing Iron Man runs. But my favorite run of all time of Iron Man is definitely Fraction in La Roca. I love this run. By the way, these deluxe editions. Here's the deluxe edition. Isn't that awesome looking book? But I just want the omnibus. Look at the art in this book. Look at the art is so good. This is why Salvador Larroca is really at the top of his game during all this time. It's so good, man. It's just, I just think this series, phenomenal. I really want it as an omnibus. But yeah, there's a, you know what, who else has got a good Iron Man? Quesada's got a good run of it. There's a bunch. I mean, there's a bunch of great Iron Man. I love Iron Man. And I think he's oftentimes a forgotten hero, you know. Joshua Williamson's run right now is really good. I hope it ends up being legendary. I really do. I really hope Williamson's run isn't and it ends up being more than just one of those Marvel Comics 10-issue series before they cancel it. Jason says, I've never read a Star Wars story in my life. Where should I start reading Star Wars? If you can get it, Jason Aaron's Star Wars is fantastic. Or you can get any of the Legends. The Star Wars Legend stuff is good too. But for me, the Jason Aaron run from Marvel is fantastic because that takes place directly after A New Hope, and it's all canon. It is all canon. Ray, do you watch movie and TV show comic adaptations? Yeah. Ray, you found the dust cover for the Paul Dini Omni. Yes. Yeah. I didn't. It's a true story. I didn't find. I was missing the Paul Dini Omnibus cover, and I talked about it on the show. Okay. After I talked about it, Lacanema got a picture of one of my videos where I was showing the room, and he took the picture of he took the video, and he got a screenshot of it, and he showed me the picture, and from the picture, I could tell where the dust. That's how I found the dust jacket. Was because Lacanema went back and watched a video and captured a screenshot. That's how I found it. So that's, honest to God, that's how I found the dust cover. Because of Lacanema. So thank you to Lacanema for that. Greetings from the Philippines. Just to ask your take on compendiums. How are they holding up? I love compendiums. RD2. I love compendiums. I think the Robin compendium is great. I'm so glad Volume 2 is coming out. I'm excited about the Red Robin compendium. The Kyle Rayner compendium is awesome. The Green Lantern compendium, Volume 1 and Volume 2 that have come out this year are fantastic. I'm a big fan of the Green Lantern compendiums. I love it. I know DC changed it again recently, but I thought the original identity of Time Trapper and Zero Hour was created. Yes. Yeah, they've changed. The Time Trapper's identity has changed. Let's see. It changed in 5 years after. It changed in 0 a year. And Williamson changed it again in Superman. So the identity of the Time Trapper has changed 3 times. Maybe 4. But it's changed at least 3 times. Gabriel says, how you doing, Ray? Just got 2 oversized hardcovers of the Daniel Way run on Astounding X-Men. So happy. Really big fan of Daniel Way. Would be really nice reading an X-Men story by him. That's awesome. Congratulations, Gabriel. Ray, have you ever read the Houston Finch Moon Knight Omni or comics? I have it, but I have not read it. Cyclops fan, did you see that Mark Evanier had over $1 million worth of original art stolen? Oh my God. Oh, be damned. No, I didn't see that. That's horrible. Makes me sad. Rousing says, hey there, Ray, that wonderful feeling you get when all the books fit perfectly on the shelf. Yeah, I cannot believe I got that new 52, and that's very happy. Ray, did you watch the Batman Beyond cartoon? I did not. I saw the original movie, the one where Tim Drake's a bad guy or something. I saw that, but I wasn't a fan of it. But I've heard it's good. I've heard it's good, but I've never read the comic. And somebody told me we did the DC solicits for that show. I was on the DC solicit show for Near Mint Condition. And I think it was Dom that had read some of them, and he was telling me it was good. And I was thinking maybe I'll get it. But as of now, I have not gotten it. But you guys know me. I'm very weak. And I'm sure I eventually will. Do you have to be Patreon? What's the question? I'm trying to figure out what the question is. I will definitely answer it if I knew what the question is. Sooty Mike says, oh, what are the best comic reading order websites? Oh, yeah, Crushing Crisis. Go to Crushing Crisis. Crushing Crisis can make reading orders. I'm trying to get Crushing Crisis on Roundtable, all right? I got him to agree to be, he's going to be on, but we're trying to work out a date. But a Crushing Crisis is the most, to me, that's the brain I'm most jealous of, because Crisis can map like off the top of his head, boom, like that. It's amazing. Remembers issue numbers and everything. Stuff that I forget. I couldn't name it. I couldn't name issues of anything. And Crisis does it like that. And Crisis on the website, Crisis just, it's amazing. Crisis just has reading orders. And I am a Patreon member, but I don't know if I have to be one to see him or not. But I don't know. But I highly recommend CrushingCrisis.com. By the way, Tom says, no comment, no compensation. It's that simple. Drop a line or kiss those winnings goodbye. Silent lurkers don't win shit, while loudmouths walk off with the loot. Yeah, you got to comment, because we will do random giveaways. And random giveaways are we just scroll through and we pick a comment. So if you don't comment during the show, you can't possibly win a random giveaway. And today's giveaways are going to be entries into the Rice Krispies Cup of Death. That is in order to win the DC versus Marvel Amalgam Age Omnibus, compliments of crooksandbanditscomics.com. The Amalgam Age Omnibus will be given away to the person that is selected from the Rice Krispies Cup of Doom. All right. And that's how we give this away. And the way to get into the Cup of Doom is you have to be selected. And the only way to be selected is to be a member. If you are a member, you get put into this hopper. And I draw a name. Like, I'll draw one now. Let me draw one now just to show you. All right. I move the hopper. Then I open it. And I pick a name. And let's see. So it's going to be. All right. Here's the person. This person's going in. Goomba. Oh, Goomba guy. Goomba guy won. Wait a minute. Goomba guy again? Didn't Goomba guy won yesterday and he gave it to someone else, right? Because he said he's got this omnibus. So Goomba guy would have gotten another entry. But Goomba guy, because he's done that again, I'm going to put it back in the hopper. And that means we're putting in, here's the person who's going in. NF's going in. NF 4866. NF is going in. All right, NF, you're going in, brother. Because Goomba guy wouldn't accept it. He says that he's got the omnibus, so he doesn't need it. He wants somebody else to win. So let's put an NF in. All right. So that's how you get in. Or a random one is when I go through, and then when Tom texts me, I just randomly pick a person, and that's someone who's commented during the stream. All right. So let's put NF in. You're in, brother. If he's in the chat room. NF's been too good. He hasn't been showing up lately. All right. It's new comic book day today. Time to order some books. Yeah, if there was good ones coming out, but there's not. D pieces, I just hulked out like Banya from the 70s show getting shoved by Thor into the electrical equipment. And I smashed that like button. Thank you, buddy. Let's see. Do you Patreon rip open the portal to www.chubbyraycomics.com and join for $1? Ignite the chaos engine and power the Chubby Ray Comics universe forever. By the way, the first Patreon giveaway, we're giving away the omnibus, the DC versus Marvel omnibus on April 20th, which is 12 days from now. And then after we give that away, I'm doing the first Patreon giveaway, which is going to be Daredevil Concrete Jungle Epic Collection. That's going to be the first Patreon giveaway. You've got to be a Patreon member in order to win that. So get in. It's $1 a month. It's $1. By the way, the people who saw the video of Saran Ram winning, I put in Patreon first. They got it yesterday. That one's not even going public. The only place to see that was Patreon or during this live show. So I want to again congratulate Saran. Los Messes, did you read The Ice Cream Man? I did not. I've heard it's fantastic, but I didn't read it. And I know that those are the guys that are doing. Didn't DC just hire them for a book? The guys who did Ice Cream Man are now taking over a DC book. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Let's see. The reason why DC won't reprint Green Lantern from the 90s early stuff is because of Gerald Jones. The writer had done some bad stuff that landed him in jail. Jones was, what did Jones do? Jones was the artist, wasn't he? Let me see. I've got some Gerard Jones. Yeah, Gerard Jones. Gerard Jones wrote, he was right. He was the writer. Keith Giffen and Gerard Jones were the writers. And M.D. Bright, Romeo Tangal were the artists. Yeah. Gerard Jones. Here's Emerald Dawn, which is really, it's the origin of Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. It's a very good story. It is a good story. And I don't know what he did. And I think it sucks that whenever they take whenever they take someone and it makes them not want to publish their work again, which, don't get me wrong, I understand if someone has abhorrent political views, I can definitely understand. Or if they've done something criminal, I can understand not wanting to reprint their work. I can definitely understand it. However, I just read all the people involved. Not everyone did something to go to jail. One person did, and now they're hurting by them not doing a collected edition of it. That means they're hurting Keith Giffen, Jim Owsley, all the people who did the art. They're hurting Romeo Tangal. They're hurting all of those people, all because of something Gerard Jones did. So I just, I know that there are things that some creators, comic book creators, have done, and I understand them being hesitant. Chuck Dixon's politics are abhorrent. I disagree with them completely, but his books do deserve an omnibus. His books, his Batman stuff, his Robin stuff, his Green Arrow stuff, it needs to be collected. It needs to be collected. Wesley says, Crushing Crisis is the best Comic Book Herald also has. I'm not familiar with Comic Book Herald. Crisis has some orders for free and some are Patreon exclusive. I love Crushing Crisis. Crushing Crisis is a great person. I've done some broadcasts with Crisis and just a top notch, just a great person. So I wouldn't say we're friends, but I'd like to become better friends with Crisis. I love Crisis. But I'm definitely a fan, and that's where I go for reading orders, is crushingcrisis.com. I just think it's top notch. By the way, Patreon exclusive reading orders. Oh, come on, man. I wish I was smart enough. I wish I was smart enough to do those. I really do. I can do some reading orders. You know what I mean? Of collected editions, but Crisis can do stuff. Crisis does stuff with issues, single issues. It really is amazing. By the way, I have Emerald Dawn and Emerald Twilight. I have both of the, I'm not bragging, but I do have both of the Green Lantern books. I can't believe Omar dropped the X of Sword reprint news the other day. Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't know that was coming. That totally shocked me. Totally shocked me when he said that. And I'll be honest, I started laughing because I thought of Wes, who just bought. Wes had just bought my old X of Swords, and when he bought it, and he bought it like 2-3 weeks ago, right, Wes? And when he bought it, it was funny because Wes sent me the money, and when he sent me the money, he said, he goes, well, this guarantees a reprint. And we were laughing because, like everybody else, I thought they were never going to do a reprint of it. So I was laughing. And to hear Omar announce that they scaled, oh my God, I just laughed even more. Oh, poor Wes. I love it. True Case says, I was just in the dispensary for 20 minutes, but I'm back, and hopefully here's my lucky comment. All right, Chewy Queso. Awesome, brother. Ray, isn't that the regular DC versus Marvel? Did I hold up the regular one? Oh, yeah, here. Sorry. Here's the amalgamate. Sorry, guys. Yeah, here's the amalgamate. You're right. I held the wrong one. I'm sorry. We're giving that one away. I think we're going to give away the Spectacular Spider because Adam also got J.M. DeMatteis's Spectacular Spider-Man, the sold out one, we're going to give that away. We are giving that away. You guys have heard Samantha's come and made comments about it. All right. That's the blue. It's the blue Spider-Man omnibus. It is this one right here. Okay. It is a phenomenal omnibus, right? It's sold out. We're giving it away. Crooks and Bandits Comics is sending that. It is sold out. We're going to give it away on the show. How awesome is that? Oh my God. I love it. I'm so far behind, guys. I'm so far behind in doing stuff. Talking about Hickman. Since Avengers Volume 1's out of print, I'm just going to read Infinity and Volume 2, The Secret Wars. Do you think I'll do fine and understanding? Volume 1 has, Volume 1 has that time runs out stuff. The time runs out stuff from the New Avengers. The New Avengers is basically the Illuminati. And there's a whole story called Time Runs Out that is one of the best. It's one of the best Marvel stories ever. And you sort of need that. I think, am I giving that away? Hold on. I'm giving away. Where do I think I might have already given it away. But I had Hickman's New Avengers. I might have already given them away. Hold on, let me check. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Hi, little buddy. Sit down, little guy. All right, here we go. Here's Gabrielle, you're gonna need let's see. Here's New Avengers Other Worlds. Which volume is this? This is volume 3. No, it's too late. Yeah, I do have New Avengers and regular Avengers, but I think I've already given away. I had hardcovers of New Avengers, and I think I've already given them away. I think I might have already given them away, brother. I'm sorry, but I'll put these in the giveaway pile. Hold on, let me put them down there. All right. I wish I had them. I'd give them all away. Do you guys think I should give Chester a treat? Should I give Chester a treat? Yes or no? I'm just trying to. By the way, Frederico's in. What's up, Frederico? How you doing, buddy? Let's see. Ray, I have the 2 Green Lantern Companions by Jeff Johns. You think the 3rd will come out soon? I've heard Volume 3 is going. I don't know if it's true. I've heard it's coming out in early 27. I've heard they'll be doing 3 Green Lantern compendiums. I've heard they'll be doing 3 Green Lantern compendiums in 2027. But the source I heard it from is very unreliable. So I don't know if it's true. It's not like I didn't hear it from. If I hear something from Dom or Omar, and by the way, they don't tell me anything. They can't, because I think they've signed a non-disclosure or something, because they don't reveal anything. Because trust me, I've been trying to get Dom. I tried to get Dom to reveal if there was a Legion of Superheroes omnibus coming out in 26, and he would not say anything. And it turns out that he did know. He and Omar have known for some time that a Legion of Superheroes omnibus was coming out, and they did not reveal it. I wish to God they would have. So I certainly wouldn't have bought all the paperbacks again like I did, but oh well. Let's see. You open your feed, but something opens back. The Comic Pals transmits from a panel outside time. Subscribe now before the next page turns itself. YouTube.com/@theComicPals. Awesome. That's made a nice plug for the Comic Pals. We love it. I love it. By the way, Cody Collects. I want to say happy anniversary, my boy Cody. I saw it's his anniversary today. Happy anniversary, brother. Ray, what's your favorite Daredevil Epic collection? I like there was one with Black Widow called, what is it called? There's one that has all the old Gene Colan Black Widow stuff when they're in San Francisco. That's actually fun. That's a very fun epic. That might be my favorite. Yeah. Let's see. Oren says, if DC is refusing to reprint the story to avoid Gerard Jones' controversy, it'd be nice if there was some legal way they could reprint things and give royalties. You know, that would have to be, there is. I have worked before. I have worked under a morality clause in my contract. Being an entertainer in radio, you sign a morals clause that defines what you can and can't do. And my clause was so stringent, I couldn't even get a DUI. But that was good because I don't drink that much. At the time, I didn't drink. I drank, but not that much. And I don't do any drugs. So, but if I got busted for drugs, if I got busted for DUI, if I was busted hiring a prostitute, if it was anything with children or any kind of sex crimes, any of that stuff, or I was arrested for anything, I would be in violation. And that would mean that they could terminate my contract without paying me. Creators, people who've signed them now, it talks about future earnings. It doesn't, they would still get paid for for the work they did, but for future earnings, they would be foregoing or giving up those. They would give up the, how's it worded? They give up the monetary. I think that my dog just farted. They give up the monetary benefits from future reprints. So if they sign it now, they do that. But back when, you got to remember, this guy said those books were written in the 80s. So they didn't have those things in contracts back then. Or Wesley says we need to get Samantha that spectacular run. I think she's already read it. She was talking about how good it was when she read it, so I'm pretty sure she has it. Maya says, yeah, that's the best Spider-Man run. It's great. If you get that in the Roger Stern run, if you get the Roger Stern and then the Spectacular Spider, they're both great. That's when it becomes street level gang crime in Spider-Man. It's really good stuff, man. Really good stuff. JC says, how do you join Ray's Patreon? Go to ChubbyRayComics.com and just become a member. It's that easy. It's that simple. It's that easy. By the way, Meyer says, yeah, you got to read Avengers and New Avengers. Yeah. For the Jonathan Hickman, absolutely. Gandaz says, Adam is the best. Yeah, Adam is great, man. I cannot stress enough how awesome it is to work with Adam. He's a comic fan who is now selling. I just love it. MZ says, yes, I should give Chester a treat. Chris says, give him half a treat. All right, good. All right, good. All right, guys. DP says, Ray, don't do it. Oren says, no. What did the doctor say? I forgot. I don't know what the doctor said. Chris says half a treat. To confirm, are they blueberry ones? They might be. These could be made of blue. I don't know. They could be made of blueberries. I can't say they're not. IP says what he said. He's talking about Los Masters said only if it's frozen blueberries. These could be frozen blueberries. I don't know. Slasher says, yes, Omar has an NDA with Marvel. I think he lets the near mint condition team be privy to the information as well. Yeah, he has. I'm pretty sure he's gotten it because Omar, you guys, Omar's never told me anything. So I'm pretty sure he's got an NDA. Here, Chester. Oh, he's leaving. He's leaving. So I guess I'm not going to go. I was going to give him half a treat. Sorry, guys. So good. I guess I'm not going to give him anything. Because he just gave up and left. Oh. So there you go, guys. Omnibo's in. Omnibo! Good day, buddy. What's the best place to eat in Chicago? Anyone got? Well, if you're in the city or the suburbs, where are you at in Chicago? There's a bunch of. Chicago has amazing places to eat. Chicago's amazing, man. You'd be quicker to say what places not to eat. You're going to get a shorter list there. Chicago restaurants are amazing. A lot of fat people in Chicago. Chester deserves a hopefully healthy treat. Well, I think a quarter of the treat I was going to give him would be fine, but. Omnihorda says a morals clause I've never heard about. Yeah, no, I had it in radio. When I moved to New York, I was living in Peoria, Illinois, and they hired me to go to New York and do a show. And the guy who was doing the show before me, he was arrested. He had the #1 show in the city, and he was arrested for he was on cocaine. He was on cocaine and he was in gambling debt. He was in gambling debt to the mob or something. And he hooked up with a prostitute and he went to a police officer that was undercover and tried to pick her up. And he got busted. He had cocaine on him and he had a sheet of paper that had all of his illegal gambling information on it. And he got busted with all that stuff. So when I went to New York, that was the first time I had to sign a morals clause. And it basically said that they would terminate my contract if any of the following had happened. And it was all outlined. It was all outlined. And I also had a non-disclosure. I had an NDA where I could not reveal my salary. I could not reveal my salary or the terms of my agreement or anything. I couldn't reveal it. So that was like in 90. And that was in 95. And then the contracts I signed in 98, 2002, and 2005, all those contracts had morals clauses in them too. So yeah. So they didn't have morals clauses when Jar Jones was working with DC. They didn't have them. So I'm saying they do. I'm sure they do now. You know. Riley says, random question. Do you have tinnitus? I asked because I have it. It's pretty tough to read with. No, I don't have it. I've heard of that's ringing. It's a high pitched ring in your ears, right? I don't have that. No, thank God. And I played in bands. All right, Chester's back. Chester's back. I'm gonna give him a little treat. Here is the blueberry that I'm going to give him. Now I want you to look what I'm going to do. All right, all right. So I take this and I cut it in half, right? Now look. So I cut it in half. And then I take one of the halves and I'm going to cut the half in half, right? Now, here is a quarter treat. And I'll say, sit down, Chester. Sit, buddy. Sit, buddy. Sit down. Good boy. There you go. He's a good boy. And there you go. He got a quarter treat. Now he's really happy. He's very happy, guys. He's so happy. By the way, Galandowski says, I didn't know chicken meatballs are made. Oh, yeah. They're these are chicken free. These are chicken free chicken meatballs. JC says, Ray, I'm a member of your Patreon under a different name. That's cool. No, that's cool. Whatever name you're under is the one that will win. If I pick you, you'll win. That name will win. Cranable says, hey, I'm really thinking of that new Invincible omnibus. I feel I will succumb and buy it. Any ideas as to whether I would say with the sales of the Invincible omnibus, I think it's positive. I think it's positive that volume 2 and 3 are going to come out because Image has got to be happy with it. The sales are unbelievable. Omni Hoarder says, I have one beef with Omar. He never reveals his honest review about books. All books are good, according to him. Thoughts? Well, let me say, have you guys ever heard me give a negative review? It's very rare. Even when I give a negative review, I talk about parts of the book that I liked. And I'm 100% authentic. I'm telling you, I love comic books. I love comic books. And, I love them. So I don't find it. And Omar might be this. Omar loves comic books too. He loves comics. So he might not find, anything wrong with books. I know there are some books that he will say it's not very good. So I think his reviews are authentic. I think that books Omar reads a ton of stuff, but I think sometimes he might not choose to do reviews of bad books. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm the same way. I don't give negative reviews either. It's just because I don't find negative in books. There have been books that I've said are great that somebody will send me a message and go, man, I didn't get it. I'll be like, well, I thought it was great. I'm reading Earth 2 right now. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a positive review because I'm loving it. I'm loving it. By the way, Omnibo says he has tinnitus and it's horrible. Should have worn earmuffs when playing drums for years. Yeah, I was a singer in a band and I also played guitar and a little bit of piano. And I wish I had ear monitors because I had some hearing damage, and I do wish I'd have, but I don't have tinnitus, thank God. DP says, have you ever gotten no, I've never read Spider-Man 2099. JC says he's now under. Awesome, JC. Cool, buddy. By the way, congrats, Wes. I see you're finally going to get your Dawn of X. Good for you, brother. Cranable says he's got all the Invincible compendiums, including the spinoffs. But can you believe I've not seen nor read anything about You've never read Invincible, Cranable? Oh, Cranable, man, I'm telling you. Invincible is one of the finest comic book superhero comics ever. I just think it's such a great comic. It's very good. By Planet says, Ray, have you read Mark Grimwald's Captain America? Yes. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I was getting single issues. I started getting single issues again in 1989. So that's right around the time that I was getting Captain America, was the stuff that Grunwald was writing. And I loved it. So yeah, I've got volume 1, 2, and 3, and they're great. They really are great. I love it. I love it. I highly recommend. And volume 3 is coming out this summer, right? It's unbelievable. We're gonna have 3 Mark Grunwald Captain Americas. I think it's great because it was a nice long run on that character. Yeah. By the way, Wes says Omni Hoarder in his reviews, Omar isn't trying to give his honest opinion. He's trying to show off the book for people who are either interested or curious. And live streams, yeah, I've heard Omar say that books aren't very good. Yeah. And Omnibo says that's not true. You can tell when he reviews books that he isn't that fond of compared to ones he loves. He just tries to be positive about it as he knows what he doesn't like. Someone, yeah, you guys, Omnibo's right. Listen, comics are subjective. Comics are subjective. Like I said that I'm not a fan of Hayden Sherman's art. I said I am not a fan of his art, but the art for Batman Dark Patterns blew me away. Now, there are people who love Hayden Sherman's art, so they were not surprised that it blew them away. I was pointing out that I am not generally a fan of that type of art, but it really worked in that book. And for me, that made it very good. I was not a fan of Chris Samney art, but when I read Batman and Robin Year One, I became a fan of it because it was so good. But I also pointed it out. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of, you guys are going to think I'm crazy. I'm not a fan of Frank Quitely's art. But when I read New X-Men, I got it. You know, there are just some artists that I'm just not a fan of. But it's subjective because what I like, I've told you guys before, I think Mike Grell is an amazing artist, but not everyone can agree. You know, not everyone will agree. So, you know, but comics themselves are subjective, you know. LP says Grunwald had a great run on Cap. I think he clearly loved. Yeah, Grunwald had a nice long run, man. I love his Captain America. It's great. Frederico says he just read Earth 2 complete run and see. Frederico, I'm reading the Earth 2 omnibus. It is so good. Gary D says, Ray, have you read Radiant Black and is it good? Yes, it is very good. By the way, 13 minutes left in the show unless I get super chats. I'm just warning you guys. I'm going to start giveaways in a second. I'll start giveaways in a second. Gary D says, Gary D, I love Radiant Black. I would say Radiant Black by Kyle Higgins is the first superhero comic since Invincible that is as fun as it is. You know what I mean? It is so fun, man. It really is amazing. By the way, JC the Comic Geek just becoming a YouTube member. Thanks, brother. Thanks, JC. Awesome, JC. Let's get you in the vats. You'll be eligible for the prize I'm giving away today. Good for you, brother. Wes says every time I try to send a super chat, they give him an error. I'm sorry, brother. I wish I knew what was going on. But we haven't gotten any super chats today. And I'm not begging. I'm just going to point out, you know, I don't want anybody complaining when I end at 7 because, you know, that's the time I'm supposed to end. But, oh, by the way, Friday show, I'm starting at 4 p.m. Central. So Friday show will start at 5 p.m. Eastern. JC, you're going in the hopper, all right? You're getting put in the hopper for tonight. Good for you, brother. By the way, I see another member. Crannibal just gave one away. Awesome. Thanks, Crannibal. Let me know who to put in the hopper, guys. Oh my God. Let's see. Who got in? Birdfire 12. Congrats, Birdfire. Well, let's get Birdfire in. All right. Yeah, I highly recommend Radiant Black. I think it's fun. It is a fun comic. I think Kyle Higgins is great. I really like him. And I think Radiant Black is a must read. But that's me. By the way, Slasher says, yes, Omar has an NDA with Marvel. Oh, we read that already, right? Sorry. I'm trying to get caught up. Let me get caught up. For some reason I got behind on the chats. I thought I was caught up, but then I scroll back. Oh, I see Oren changed his name to Aaron. Congrats. That's the name he uses on Discord. I stopped Invisible at the multiple mark stuff. I got major multiverse fatigue at the time. I don't know. I think Invincible was just fun. But I get the same vibe from Radiant Black. It's just, it's just fun. All right, we got Birdfire going in. Okay. There we go. I'll make sure I get everybody in. Same here. I'm interested to know Ray's take. My take on Radiant Black? Wesley says I'm not a fan of Frank. Yeah, and that doesn't mean that Frank Quietly's bad. It just means it's not my cup of tea. But I'm glad that other people love him. There are just some artists that don't, because it's subjective. It's just not my cup of tea. Squints, I'm sorry you ran out of money, brother. I haven't read Radiant Black yet, but I've heard it's being compared to. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it's. It's how Invincible at the core and heart of Invincible was a fun comic book story. Radiant Black has that same kind of feel of just being a fun comic book story. So, I'm just saying that it's got that feel. Oh, by the way, we got a super chat. Oh, we are going a little late. Thank you, JC. Thank you, brothers. Thank you for the super chat. I love it. Thank you, buddy. We will go late now. You're the man. You're the man, JC. That's going to give us time for more giveaways. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. They're like, yeah, I like Jock's artwork. Like in Black Mirror. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's great. Oh, yeah, Wes is the same thing. Yeah, Black Mirror, absolutely. I think it's great. I really am a fan of it. Federico says he liked Earth 2. It took a bunch of years to get. Yeah, I'll be honest. I have all the Earth 2. I should give them away, but I have all of the Earth 2 paperbacks. I have all of them, and it is an exceptional story. And I'm reading the omnibus right now, and I'm remembering how much I liked this. I liked this. When it first came out, I just loved it. I love the reorigin, and I love seeing Jay Garrick get his powers. I love seeing Alan Scott get his powers. I just loved it. It was such a great book. Except the omnibus starts with. Let's see if I have it. The omnibus starts with a Superman Batman. Or Batman Superman. I don't know if I have it. It starts the Batman Superman by Greg Pak. I think it's this one. It starts with. It's starting with this one. No, it's not this one. It starts with an episode of Batman. It starts with an issue of Batman Superman, or an arc from Batman Superman, and then it's really good, man. It's very. The omnibus is put together very well. It's J. Lee art. Let's see if I have the issue that it starts with. No, I don't know if I have it. But that's what it starts with. And it's very good. Yep. Do any of you know about the Valiant universe? I read Valiant when it was in single issues way back in the 90s. I had Valiant single issues, but I don't. Do they have collected issues, guys? I don't know if they have any collected issues because I don't collected editions. I'd have some if they did. Riley says, "Do I have the library editions?" No, I have the compendiums. I have the Ultimate Collection hardcovers, and now I have the omnibus. I love it. Los Master says, I'm for the DC. I'm trying to read it in chronological order, starting with Absolute Crisis on Infinite Earths. Then we'll continue with Mark Waid's Flash. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Ray, what are your thoughts on Jim Gordon's time as Batman during the New 52? Comics are subjective. But I thought it was Scott Snyder's weakest point. I thought that was Scott Snyder's weakest point as Batman writer. That's just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. That's my opinion. Am I caught up? Am I caught up with the chat? Am I caught up, Tom? Awesome. I think I'm caught up, guys. Not bad. I'm proud of myself, man. Not bad. That's very cool. Not bad. Look at that. I've never been caught up before. Ray, besides time, and what's the best Batman omnibus? No Man's Land. Road to No Man's Land and then No Man's Land is great. Or Detective by Mariko Tamaki. Mariko Tamaki's Detective is fantastic. That's really good. Or, Sale and Logan Sale is, come on. This is pretty amazing omnibus too. There's something I triple dip on. I just gave trade paperbacks to C&T. I just sent him my trade paperbacks. But I had trade paperbacks, omnibus, absolute editions. I got the Long Halloween, Dark Victory, and Haunted Night. The Loeb and Sale stuff's very good. Very good. Big fan of it. A big fan. But Tynan is my favorite. I just love Tynan stuff. But I'll tell you, Tamaki, Tynan's Detective and Mariko Tamaki's Detective are right up there, man. I'm really big fans of it. Really big fan. However, there's Batman books. I have never read Batman Eternal. I haven't read Batman Eternal, and I haven't read Batman and Robin Eternal. I have them, but I haven't read them yet. By the way, Aussieverse, sub to Aussieverse before the multiversal tribunal kicks your door in. Bat signal blazing, shadows screaming, justice brooding. YouTube.com/@Aussieverse. Watch Omnibone Gang. They put on some great shows, man. Which evil Batman version was your favorite? No. None of the dark Batman were my favorite. I hated them all. Yeah. No, I hated them all. Especially the Batman Who Laughs. I was not a fan. I did not like them. I hated them. I did not like that book. Ray, what's your thoughts on Deadpool? Is he a character you have any? I have Deadpool omnibuses, and I have some Deadpool paperbacks. Yeah, I do have Deadpool. I think if a funny writer writes Deadpool, it's entertaining. I think if a writer who's not funny writes Deadpool and tries to be funny, it doesn't always work. That's my take. Russell says, Ray, what book are you opening today? Well, I'm thinking I might open, let me see. I'm thinking I might open Moon Knight by Jed McKay. That's what I think. Or let me go back and see if I can find another. Or we can open up. And hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me see here. I'm looking. Let me see. All right. A book I was just talking about. Or we could open Batman Eternal. I was just talking about Batman Eternal. I've never read it. I've got Batman Eternal or Moon Knight by Jed McKay. We'll open one of these. I'll let you guys take a vote. And then I'll open one. ChubbyRay, today order Invincible Omnibus Volume 1 and Nightwing Omnibus Volume 1 by Tom Taylor. I love Nightwing. Nightwing Volume 1 is my favorite omnibus of all time. It is my favorite omnibus of all time. So, that's got to be my choice. But I haven't opened my Invincible Omnibus yet, but I know when I'm reading it, I'm going to love it because I loved it when I first read Invincible. I loved it. So I know I'll love the omnibus when I get to reading it. Andy says, did I miss anything awesome? Well, you missed Saran Ram. Saran Ram won the Star Wars New Republic. Congrats to him. Ray, what videos are you working on right now? I have a review for tomorrow's video is review of Black Widow, Captain America. I've tried to record my Marvel Omnibus video 5 times, and I'm such a perfectionist. I haven't gotten it where I wanted it yet. So I'm still in the process of recording that. I want it to be perfect, guys, because it's my collection. I'm still trying to do it. I've got a flash. I'm doing a flash reading order in collected edition. I'm doing that. I've got a Wonder Woman versus Thor. I've been writing the script and I'm like halfway through the script and it's taken forever. It's really taken forever to write that one. I might have to put something else in front of it. And then I do have an HITH video coming. I'm working on several. And then of course I'll have an Earth 2 review after I get done with Earth 2. And I've already got I've got next week's trade paperback Tuesday. I've got all the books read. I just haven't cut the video yet. That's how far ahead I am. So, but I'm trying to get there. JR agrees with me. Evil Batman is trash. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Evil Batman. Riley says, if you haven't already, Void Rivals is awesome. I love Void Rivals. And I thought Void Rivals Volume 1 was an almost perfect trade paperback. I thought it was that good. Void Rivals Volume 1, very good. In fact, I've got 4. I think there's 4. I read Volume 1 and 2, but there's 2 more I have to read. By the way, Paul says Ray McKay's Moon Knight is my favorite comic of all time. You've got to read it. Yeah. Russell says Batman Eternal. 2 for Batman Eternal. Los Master says Batman Eternal. Omnihorder says, ooh, yes, open it. He didn't say which one. He just said open it. Thunder says Batman Eternal. Meyer says Moon Knight. Wes says Moon Knight. Batman Eternal. Now they're tied again. Eternal is up. Eternal's up by 2. Eternal up by 3. Eternal, that's the same guy. That's Los Master voting more than once. Thunder says both. Omnihorder says Eternal up by 3. Raphael says, I am out of my wheelchair. I'm going to walk tomorrow for the first time in 8 months. All right, buddy. Good for you. Straight to the comic shop to get Red Hood's Task Force. Dude, I got to tell you something, Raphael. I was in a wheelchair. at one point in my life. And it sucks. So, dude, I know that feeling. I'm happy for you, man. I'm very happy for you that you can walk again. When you're in a wheelchair, it sucks. So I'm very, very happy for you. Congratulations, man. You guys, being in a wheelchair, there's nothing fun about it. Except if you go to a concert. If you go to a concert or a baseball game, it's pretty good because, But outside of that, there's no benefits of being in a wheelchair. My knees are so bad. When I got up to 600 pounds, I had to get in a wheelchair. And then I started losing weight, thank God. And I was able to walk again. Would you say Nightwing by Tom Taylor and Daredevil by Wade are similar? I've heard them be compared before and love Taylor's Nightwing. Well, I've read them both, and no, I think they're different. I think they're very different. Nightwing is just super positive. The message in Nightwing is positive, and I love everything about Nightwing by Tom Taylor. I love it. Wade's Daredevil, people are just, because in the beginning of his first volume, it's almost like everything's going good for Daredevil after the Bendis and Brubaker, all the nightmares that Daredevil went through. You know what I mean? Because there was such a long road of, if you go back to the Frank Miller run, you have Karen getting into prostitution and taking heroin. You have Karen Page's life going to hell. And you got Kevin Smith killing her and all. There's all those bad things that happen. Just bad thing after bad thing after bad thing after bad thing. And then you get Bendis and Brubaker. He's in jail. His people are being killed around him. It's just bad, bad, bad. Finally, Mark Waid comes in, and there's a few bad things that don't happen. So that's why people say, oh, it's very positive. It's not positive. It's just not as bad as it was for Matt Murdock and the earlier things. So I disagree when people say they're the same. It's just not as horrifying for him as it was in the earlier runs. But Nightwing has horrifying things that happen to him, but I just love the overall tone of Taylor's Nightwing is it's him and Barbara. They're cohabitating. They're deeply in love. They get a dog, and Nightwing's out fighting crime, but he's winning, and there's a bunch of stuff going on around them. And I think it's great. And there's people that in the Nightwing run by Tom Taylor, there's people trying to kill Dick Grayson because Grayson becomes a billionaire. And people are trying to kill him. And he's having the Titans protect him. But still, it feels positive. Even though this stuff's going on, it still feels very positive. DP says, what's your favorite Daredevil run? My favorite Daredevil era is probably Charles Soule. Soule had Daredevil as a public, had him as he had him in the district attorney's office. So he's trying cases, trying to put away, instead of trying to free the bad guys, he's trying to put them away. That's different. And also Matt Murdock is a poker genius. That's different. Charles Soule's run's different. And the first half of Chip Zdarsky's run is that might be my favorite era because the art is so good. But I love, listen, I love Brian Michael Bendis. I love Bendis and Malev's run. I love Brubaker and Lark's run. It might be the best of all time, but it's so good. Wade's Volume 1 was good. I wasn't a big fan of Volume 2, but it was still good, but I wasn't the biggest fan of that. Loved Charles Soule's run. I loved 1.5 of Zdarsky's 2 omnibus runs. The Frank Miller stuff's good. The Ann Nesenti stuff. The Ann Nesenti stuff is really good. Volume 2 is coming out later this year. And then you guys, it's not an omnibus yet, but I was getting single issues when DG Chichester's run. That was when Daredevil switched costumes. And it's available in Epic Collection now. And I have some of the Chichester Epic Collection stuff. And whenever they put out the Chichester omnibus, I'm definitely going to get it, which I imagine Nesenti Volume 2 is coming out this year. So I imagine as early as next year, we could get Daredevil by Chichester. That's just my prediction. I don't know if it's true. But I hope it is, because I would love to get that. Jojo says, Ray, have you read Ram V's? No, I do like Ram V, but I've not read Resurrection Man. And I also haven't read his New Gods. I have them both, but I haven't read them. I am, however, looking forward to Ram V's detective run that's coming out. Samantha says, Ray, do you ever lose motivation to post? I was trying to post on TikTok daily while also documenting my Spider-Man read-through, but I haven't posted for about 2 months now. Because, Samantha, that sucks, son. Listen, no, I never lose motivation. But let me explain. I've been broadcasting since I was 17. I started when I was in college. I was in radio for 30 years, and I broadcast every single day. So when you're doing it for a job and for a paycheck and for a contract and everything, you force yourself to get up for every show, because you definitely don't feel like doing a show every day, but you get used to it. And the problem with radio is I guess people would call me a shock jock. I never really felt like a shock jock. I felt like a comedian, but they can call it what they want. But I did a comedy show, and I did it for 30 years, and I loved it. But I wasn't myself. I felt like I was portraying the character of Ray Lytle. That's my real name. When I changed my nickname to ChubbyRay, and I decided, you know what? I want to start talking about things I love. I take it under that. I go under to motivate myself. I think of, for 30 plus years, I have had to force myself every day to broadcast. And you're not in the mood to tell dick jokes. You're just not. But I did. And then late in my career, they made me switch to talk radio. You talk about a job that is disgusting. Talk radio. That is the worst job in the world. Because you're going to do talk radio and you start doing comedy, and they say, no, we want you to talk about politics. The worst thing in the world to talk about is politics. In fact, they told me to talk about politics, so I did. I went on the air and talked about politics, and then they had a meeting with me. They go, whoa, what are you doing? I said, you told me to talk about politics. They said, no, we don't want those politics, because I'm a very liberal person. I'm very liberal. So I was giving my politics, which are very liberal. And they said, no, we don't want you to talk about those politics. We want you to talk about our politics. And I went, whoa, now wait a minute. So you want me to talk about your politics? That's not going to work. So my job was terrible. Now I'm not telling this story because of the politics thing. I'm telling the story because every day, here's how I motivate myself. When I say I don't want to make comic content, I say, remember when you were doing talk radio, how much you hated the fact that you had to read political articles, the fact that you had to, oh my God, I had to read about the recalcitrant assholes in Congress, and I had to read about the Tea Party, and I had to read about the MAGA stuff, and I had to read about the progressive this or the super conservative that, and it killed me. It just killed me. It took the joy out of broadcasting. Now, there are things I love. There are things I love in this life. My life, I adore my wife. I love her madly. I love my daughter. I love my pets. I love my Cubs. And I love my comics. I love my comics. I decided to start talking about my comics, which I love. So I motivate myself by saying, remember when you had to broadcast and do daily content about things you hated. I wasn't always in the mood to tell dick jokes. I certainly was never in the mood to talk about politics. I'm always in the mood to talk about comic books. I've never had a day in my life where I wasn't ready to discuss comic books. The whole time I was doing talk radio and radio, I had a friend, his name's DC. He was a comic fan. And DC was like my best friend in the world, because when I was with DC, we would just talk about comics. We'd talk about comics and sports and movies. We never had to talk about any of the other bullshit. I never had to impress him with dick jokes or funny this or funny that or politics this or politics. I just talked about something I love, which is comic. So now I just talk about comic books, which I love. And then when I got monetized, I was like, oh my God, now I could get paid to talk about it. Samantha, by the way, if I wasn't monetized, I would still do daily content because I love it. Because I get in the headspace of it could be worse. It could be me talking about things I hated, which I've done before. So, Samantha, when you get in those moods, when you get in a mood where you need motivation, please take it from me. Put yourself in the situation of, imagine if I had to do content about blah, blah, blah. And then go, I get to do content about my comics. And Samantha, you come in here, you'll come into the chat room and I don't know you personally. I would love to get to know you. But here's what I love. When you're in the chat room, your takes on Spider-Man are so good. They're so good. You'll be in the chat room and you could write a 3-paragraph. You could write a 3-paragraph post about this omnibus right here. About J.M.D. Mateus' Spectacular Spider-Man. You have that knowledge. You have that gift. You have the gift. You should never lose motivation. You have the gift to talk about Spider-Man in a way. Your chat posts are super entertaining. Just chatting. You should never, ever have a problem coming up with content. Your take on Spider-Man is so fresh. And I love your chat post. You should never have a problem. And here's the thing. Do a video. I have map out your stuff. And I have videos for Batman ideas mapped out to whenever I stay ahead on my content. But if I'm ever having a time where I don't know what to do, I'll talk with my wife and bounce ideas off her, even though I know she doesn't care. I'll bounce ideas off her. I'll bounce ideas off friends. I'll Discord. I will go in my Discord and I'll talk to Lacanima or Wes or Comics and Tortillas, and I'll bounce stuff off them all the time. They might not even realize it. And I'll bounce stuff off Omar, and I'll bounce stuff off people that I know just to bounce ideas off. But I always have them written down. But I also have written down Batman, just Batman things like top 5 Batman stories about blah, 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 or top 5 Batman, blah, blah. And I have them for when I'm not feeling super creative, but I still want to get a video, then I just go to that list and I say, well, let's see what I have. Boom. And then I pull out that list. Samantha, you should create a list of 5 best Spider-Man stories about, blah, blah, blah. 5 best Spider-Man marriage stories when he was married to MJ. 5 best Spider-Man stories when he's in the black costume. And I'm just throwing ideas out there. You can do whatever you want with it. But I'm just saying you should have a little list of stuff. And whenever you're not feeling motivated, just go to that list and do one of those videos. And then, maybe you've got some, just do 5 great paperbacks of Spider-Man and literally just hold up Spider-Man. Just hold it here. I would do, if I ran out of ideas, I could look to my shelf and say, I would say, blah, 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 blah. I'm looking over my paperbacks. All right. Maybe you do Green Arrow paperbacks that should never be made into an omnibus. All right, which is controversial, but I'd go. And by the way, I don't believe this because I believe every book should be made into an omnibus. But I would say, all right, let's look at Green Lantern, New 52. This is Dan Jurgens' Green Arrow. This should never be made into an omnibus. And go through some of the stuff and explain it was completely different. He didn't have the beard. He didn't have the family. They redid him again. He was, it was not the Green Arrow that we were used to. And I would literally do a video holding up the paperbacks and just talking about why it should never be an omnibus. Okay. And then I would talk about it, and then I just edit it. I'd edit it into a video just to keep myself doing stuff. You know what I mean? So Samantha, take my advice. Your content is fantastic. You might not feel motivated right now, but you should, because your mind, you're smarter than me. I'll tell you that. And I can tell that from your chat comments. You have a wealth of knowledge in your brain. That's what you should do. God bless you and good luck. Ray, do you keep up with current comic runs? Maybe. No, I should, but I don't. I should, JC, but I do not. I should. I should get the Marvel and DC things, but I don't think I'd read it. I like holding a book. I like holding a book and feeling it. I'm such a geek, man. I get off on holding an omnibus and flipping through it. And, I read like Epic Collections and DC Finest. I thumb through the pages and just read different parts. I really don't. I can't remember the last time I read an entire Epic Collection. or DC Finest. I just thumb through it and find the parts. That's what I do with those. Omnibuses, I read every word, the whole thing. And paperbacks, I do that. But my Epic Collections, my DC Finest, that's how I read. Saran says, how would you compare the Titans Omnibus by Taylor versus the Nightwing Omnibus? I liked them both. Nightwing Omnibus was 5 stars. The Titans Omnibus was only 4. The Titans Omnibus Beast World part is amazing. I didn't like the first arc of the Titans. I mean, I liked it, but I didn't love it. Nightwing, every second, every panel, every page, I loved. I loved it. Titans, I did not love the first arc. I didn't love the first arc of Titans. So that I would say Nightwing's better. Nightwing's better. Harley says just started. Oh God, Gotham Central is so good. Ed Brubaker and Greg Rucka. Oh my God. They're amazing. That's great. Harley says, I'm excited to finally check it out. You're going to love it, Harley. Trust me, man. You will love it. Chester, sit down. You sit down. Sit down. Be a good boy. Don't you be barking. Don't be barking. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up. I'm behind again. Sorry, everybody. Ray, you have Superman? Of course, yeah. I have Superman by Tomasi Gleason. Absolutely. Love it. And I have Jurgens Action Comic stuff. Is anyone familiar? Have you read Magnus Robot Fighter? Never read it, buddy. You know what I'd like to get by Gold Key, Federico? I would. I've never read the original Star Trek crew. I know that Gold Key made, Kirk and Spock Star Trek comics. I would love to get those. I would love to get that. Jack Solo's in. Jack says, hope everybody's had a good day. I think so. Ray, the omnibuses are finally coming in. Hickman's Fantastic Four Volume 1. Avengers Volume 2. All of John's Justice League all arrived, brother. Fantastic. Wade's Flash 3 is coming out Friday. Oh, God. Wade's 3 Flash coming Friday. Oh, you're getting all 3 volumes? God bless. Along with Lowe's. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Harley says, Ray, I've got a face for, trust me, I had a face for radio. I had a face for radio the entire time I was in it. Now now my face is looking a lot better and I'm no longer in radio. Foulmouth Flipper's in, everybody. Foulmouth Flipper says he started reading Immortal Iron Fist by Omnibus by Brubaker. Oh, it's so good. Yes. Isn't it good? Isn't it good? I'll show you. I think I gave away my trade paperback, but of course I have that. Let me grab it to show. I don't want anybody thinking I'm lying. Hold on, Flipper. Of course, Flipper. What do you think? I'm some kind of amateur? Please. Flipper, please. Flipper, please. Yes, I have Immortal Iron Fist by Brubaker. I love, and it's Fraction too, right? Yeah, Matt Fraction wrote part of this. Yeah, I love Ed Brubaker, guys. One of my favorites of all time. All right, let's see. Darth Muggy says, yes, that sounds like hell. Yeah, if you're not into politics, being forced to do political radio, I mean, don't get me wrong. I have strong beliefs. But I'll just give you an example. I live in Springfield, Illinois, which is the capital of the state of Illinois. That's where I live. And I have lived here for a long time. So Barack Obama, who was president of this country, he lived here as well. He was a state senator. So he lived in Springfield so much of the year when he was just a state senator. And I played basketball with him. All right. I didn't know him but if I ran into him today, I don't even know if he would remember me. He'd remember me as that's that 400-pound guy that played basketball with us. But we certainly weren't friends. He was a very nice guy. I liked him a lot. I voted for him twice. But I mentioned once in talk radio, I played basketball with him. And half of the audience, just to let you know how bad it is, half the audience said, I'm never going to listen to you again. And I'm like, why? Because you played basketball with that blah, blah, blah. That's how divided we are politically. And people are like that now with this Trump. They're the same way. I once interviewed Donald Trump in 1995. I interviewed him and I thought he was an a-hole. I really did. He wasn't in politics. And I thought he was an a-hole because, he was rushed. He obviously didn't want to do the interview and he was being forced to do it. And you could tell, and he was a terrible interview. Now, that says nothing about him politically, except he was an a-hole to interview. That's all I'm saying. And I said that on my other show. I said, well, when I interviewed him, he was an asshole. And people got so angry. And I'm like, what? They're like, you hate, and I'm never going to listen to you again. I'm like, why would that make you never listen to me? Because I played basketball with one guy who was president? Or I interviewed someone else. He wasn't president when I interviewed him. I just thought he was an a-hole. That doesn't mean he might not. Maybe he was a great guy, but I just didn't see that part of him. I just don't understand why I never understood why people are so passionate about it. So I hated doing it. That was the point I was making. Let's see. Meyer says randomly got 1 million views on a TikTok post the other day. Did that happen to you? Good for you, Meyer. If that happened, awesome, bro. That's awesome, bro. That is awesome. Hello, Ray, and all the comic geeks. What's up, Joe? How you doing, brother? Do you pieces is Samantha still in the chat? I hope so, because I went off on that big spiel for her. I hope that she heard it. Oh, she says, of course. She says, of course. I hope she heard it, because I did. When I was just trying to help her out. So I'm sorry if anybody was bored by that, but I was just I think Samantha's brilliant, and I want her to post. I want her to post more. I think we need more content like that. I think that's what we need. I'd rather see more of her than, I'm not going to insult anybody, but I'd rather see her than some of the other people out there, doing ridiculous content or ridiculous things on YouTube. And by the way, anybody can do whatever they want. It's just, I want more content of what I like. I wish Omar would post more. And I know he posts a lot, but I wish there was more. So then there'd be more stuff for me to watch. I wish Crisis would post more. I wish the Comic Pals would do a stream every day. I wish Aussieverse would do a stream every day, because when I like stuff, I like comics and tortillas. I wish the guys that I like, I wish that there was stuff every day that I could watch. And Samantha, that's how I feel about you. I love when you're in the chat room, because you always add to the discussion. I just think it's great. Jose says, how's Chester? Chester's doing good. He got a quarter of a treat. And he's so happy. Harley says, Ray, do you have a list of out of print or otherwise omnibus that you don't own but want? All right. It feels like you have the majority of stuff and keep up with. I do. I love. Yeah. Here's what I don't have. And I just found out I don't have another book today. And now I've been thinking about it since I found out, which is Phantom Stranger. Somebody mentioned Phantom Stranger, and I'm like, I don't have Phantom Stranger. So now I got to get Phantom Stranger. But I don't have Darth Vader by Charles Soule Omnibus. I don't have War of the War of Kings Aftermath. I don't have that. I don't have Gail Simone's Wonder Woman. Is that it? I think those are the ones I don't have. So yeah, I do have. There are out of print books that I want. I think that's everything I don't have. I have everything else. And then there are books that they haven't printed yet that I want. Ray, have you ever thought about running a podcast? Yeah, I've run podcasts forever, and I do a daily podcast now, but not for comic books. I guess this is the podcast for comic books. Podcasting now is, stuff like this, is people are listening to it like a podcast, which I think is great. I love it. I love broadcasting. Drill says, looks like I'm going to Books A Million tomorrow. I did just get a Batman t-shirt though. Good for you, brother. I'm glad you hopped back on. John says, Ray, I also live in Central Illinois. It's crazy how conservative people are here, considering how blue Chicago is. I know the governor, and I love the governor of Illinois. I think he's great, but conservative people hate him. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Tom, give a plug to Samantha's page. Yeah, let's get a plug. We plug pages every day. We plug Comics and Tortillas and Comic Pals and Near Mint Condition, Omnibus. Let's get a plug for Samantha. So Samantha, I'm going to get you more subscribers. Let's get Samantha some more subscribers. Everybody subscribe to her channel, and that way she's going to have no choice but to do more content. Let's get Samantha doing more content. Let's get her doing it. Let's get her motivated, guys. There you go. I really want the Nascenti Daredevil. Dude, the Nascenti Daredevil Omnibus is great. I have it in Epic Collection and Omnibus, and it's great. And part 2 Omnibus is coming out in, when's it coming? May or June, maybe? I love it. What other comic genres do you like besides superheroes? I like specific authors more than genres. I like James Tynion, so I love his horror. I guess Something's Killing the Children's horror, but Department of Truth is very good, and that's more conspiracy stuff. I like Exquisite Corpses. Oh my God. Exquisite Corpses is fantastic. God, I love that. Oh, I love that. I loved Letter 44 I talk about all the time. Charles Soule's Letter 44 is one of the best books I've ever read. I love that book. There's a book by Scott Snyder and Charles Soule called Undiscovered Country that is fantastic. I love it. There's a bunch of stuff that I love that isn't superhero is my favorite though. But I like superhero books, and I love different creators. If I see something's written by James Tynion or Jeff Johns or Joshua Williamson, I will buy it just because of who the author is, or a certain artist. If Marco Gachetto draws a Charlie Brown book, I will buy a Charlie Brown book. You know. Samantha says, "Oh boy, nope." Samantha, yes, we are all going to subscribe. Everybody's going to subscribe to your channel. Everyone's going to subscribe to your channel, and we're all going to watch it. So make sure you do some good content. No pressure, but you got it. Squints is right. You got it, Samantha. You've got it. I have faith in you. Hey, let's do some giveaways because it's getting late. Let's do all right. I'll get another person in the omnibus, in the DC versus Amalgam omnibus. All right, we'll get someone else registered to win that. We'll get a random, and we'll get a member. Plus, we'll give away. What else are we going to give away here? We will give away Deathstroke by Christopher Priest. This is very good. The art in this book is so good. The story's great, but the art in this Deathstroke book is so. I have the omnibus, Christopher Priest Deathstroke omnibus. They're reprinting it. They are reprinting it later this year, and it is an amazing omnibus. I'm thinking of buying it again just to have a new version of it, because the one I've got, I bought pre-owned off eBay. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm thinking of buying another one just to have it because I'm nuts. All right, let's give away Deathstroke, and we'll give away Grayson. We got Deathstroke. We got two DCs, Deathstroke and Grayson. All right, we'll give those away. And if we still have time, I don't know if we'll have time, but if we still have time, maybe I'll give away. If we have time, I'll give away New Avengers by Hickman. All right. Yeah. So JC says, do you pay full price for omnibus on what? eBay? No, I haggle. I haggle. I'm terrible about haggling. I don't like paying full price, no. But if it's a brand new omnibus, you got to pay what you got to pay. I order from Crooks. I'll tell you why I order is Crooks and Bandits. I'll order from Crooks and Bandits. So I buy what I price. I go by Adam's prices. Raging Slaw says, can you start? Yeah, you can start. Yeah. Deathstroke, you can start with the Marv Wolfman stuff. You can start with the Christopher Priest stuff, or you can even do the New 52 stuff. So it doesn't matter. You just have to understand that Deathstroke's an anti-hero because he is, you know what I mean? He is a villain and also a hero. You know what I mean? So there you go. All right, let's do. What are we doing, Tom? Tom, we going to do a rando, or are we doing a member first? I'll tell you what. Let's first get someone in the Rice Krispie cup of death. All right, let's see. All right, here we go, guys. All right. Damn, I got two of them. This one's not going to get this. Here's who's going to get one. Okay. Going in. LP, you're already in, right? LP, this is going to be your second one. LP is getting his second. He's getting his second entry for the omnibus. Congrats, LP, brother. Good for you. All right. Let's get LP. LP going into the Rice Krispies cup of death. All right. We're entering LP. LP is entered. Way to go, brother. All right. Is LP in the chat room? By the way, here's who didn't win. Ash Night Table. Ash Nightable. Sorry, man. You don't win shit. All right, Tom, let's do a rando. This is for the omnibus. We're getting entry into the Amalgamage omnibus. All right, 3, 2, 1. Start counting, Tom. Count above 20 and under 100. All right, we're going to go for as long as it takes Tom to count. Now I'm scrolling down. From the top. I'm scrolling about medium pace. I'm going about medium pace. All right. I'm trying to get it where you can see but I don't know how to do it. I'm trying to make it so you can see the entries. There we go. I'm waiting for Tom. All right, now I'm all the way. I'm all the way at the bottom. Now I'm scrolling up. I'm scrolling up slow. Scrolling slow. Now we're going back up. I'm going to speed up the pace, Tom. Speeding up the pace. Speeding up the pace, brother. Speeding up the pace. We'll get back to the top. All right, I'm all the way up. Now I'm going back down. All right. Oh. Tonight's rando. Fresh off refusing his meds and arguing with the wallpaper, faces a turn in the Rice Krispies bowl of snap crackle death. The rando is Raul 17 RS. Raul, congratulations, brother. You are in. Let's see who loses. Underneath Raul, Galandowski. Oh, Galandowski. It pains me to do this. Galandowski, but you didn't win shit. Above Raul is Cyclops fan. You didn't win shit. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, man. But Raul, you are going in. Let's get Raul put in. All right. Congratulations, Raul. You're in, brother. Let's see. Raul, you are in, brother. Let's get Raul in the cup. You're in. Okay. Now let's do Deathstroke. Let's do Deathstroke and let's get someone to decide if it's going to be random or member. Random or member for Deathstroke. Let's give it Aaron. Aaron, you decide. Deathstroke goes to a random or a member. Please decide, Aaron. Formerly Oren. Oren died. Everybody, I don't know if you heard, but Oren died. But Aaron's here to take his place. So thank you, Aaron, for coming in. We appreciate it. Let's see what Aaron says. The only one that matters is Aaron. Only one that matters. I see people are giving their, but the only one that matters, Aaron says Deathstroke for random, Grayson for a member. All right, Tom, let's start with the random for Deathstroke. We're going to do a random, buddy. All right, Tom. 3, 2. I'm trying to line my phone up to where you guys can see the scrolling. Okay. Let's see. How do I scroll? Can you see it? 3, 2, 1. Go, Tom. All right. I've started the scrolling. I'm scrolling. All the way to the top. I'm at the top. Now I'm scrolling down. I'm trying to slow down the pace, but I think I'm going pretty quick. I don't know if you guys can see it on my phone or not, but I'm trying to make it so you can see on the phone. All right. Now we're scrolling back up. I'm just waiting. I wait for Tom to text. As soon as I feel the text, I read Tom's. I have to read the post to make sure it's Tom. I don't want a notification from MLB pop. Okay, hold on. All right. Tonight's rando. Window liquor prize, rigging theorist, and walking liability has pushed the hospital board into emergency statement mode. And that brave person is that brave rando is Los Master 5224. You win Deathstroke by Christopher Priest. Congratulations, brother. Los Master, get me your address, email it over to ChubbyRayComics@gmail.com. And Los Master will get this book to you. All right. Congratulations, buddy. Congratulations. Here's who didn't win. Underneath Los Master, DP. Oh, God. Oh, DP. DP, all I have to say is, in fact, I'm not even going to say it. I'll let you absorb it. That was for DP. All right. Above Los Master. Oh, JC. Oh, God. JC, I don't even want to say it. I love JC. Become a member today. I'm very happy for you. JC, all I have to say is, oh, sorry, buddy. Sorry. Sorry, JC. Sorry, DP. Sorry, guys. Oh, well. Let's go to member. Now I got a member for Grayson. Grayson. This is by Tom King, Tim Seeley, Mikhail Janin. Grayson. Let's do a member. Let's do a member, guys. All right. Oh, somebody already fell out. This is someone who's not going to win shit, but that's someone who fell out. All right. Oh, another one's falling out. There's another one. This one fell out. All right, here's the winner. The winner's right here. Let's first, here's the winner. Let's first see who didn't win. The first, Chris Covers Comics. Sorry, Chris. Oh, Chris. You don't win shit. Sorry, Chris. The second person who didn't win is, oh, crap. Hold on. Is MZ. Oh, MZ. Sorry, buddy. You didn't win shit. Oh, Wonder's dropped out. The Chosen. Sorry, you were not chosen. The Chosen. The Chosen was the kicked out. You didn't win shit. And the last person who didn't win shit is Papa John. Sorry, Papa John. Sorry. The winner, the actual winner of Grayson, Aaron 0070. Aaron 0070, you win Grayson. Congratulations, buddy. Congratulations. Congratulations, Aaron. You win. All right, let's get Aaron. Let me get Aaron. All right. Do we still have time or are we out of time? Oh, it's almost 8 o'clock. Oh my God. It's so late, guys. There we go. Listen, guys, I want to thank you. I had a good time today. I had a good time. Tom says, congrats to all the rigged winners. Proof that luck is dead. Justice is asleep, and the universe hands out prizes like a drunk raccoon tossing trash from a dumpster. Thank you, Tom. Yeah, by the way, nobody was claiming rig today. That was nice to not be accused of rigging contest. Makes me very happy. There you go. I thank you guys for watching. I had a lot of fun on tonight's stream. I really had a lot of fun. I hope that you guys did too. I hope that everybody is going to get subscribed. Get subscribed to Samantha, and let's view that content. Let's view that content and force her to do more videos. All right. Thank you, Samantha. Let's get her to do more content, guys. I'm trying to go to her page now. Let's get her more subscribers and force her to do that content so we can all enjoy it. All right. We want to see those. Want to see them. And I definitely want to see, I'm looking on TikTok right now. I want to see more content. And always come, and Samantha, whenever you feel unmotivated, just come in and I'll give you another prep talk. We'll get you a prep talk. All right. I want to thank everybody for checking out today. I thought I had a lot of fun, guys. I hope you guys did too. Thank you so much, Samantha. Harley says, don't forget to hit like. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jose said he just subbed to Samantha. Awesome. We love it. I love it. Gandasi says he's going to sub. Jose says, press Tom's link. Love it. By the way, Frederico just Samantha, there you go. I want to see new content. Everybody's going over to watch. They're all going to watch. Let's see some new content. I want it. I want to see more of that great. I want to see your mind is, is so great. And when you talk about Spider-Man in the chat room, I can tell the excitement, the exuberance. You should definitely post. You guys are great. Thank you so much. And we will talk to you. When am I doing a show? Friday. So, all right. No show tomorrow. Friday, 4 p.m., guys. 4 p.m. Friday on Central Time. So 5 p.m. Eastern Friday, I'll be back. We'll do another show. Tomorrow I'll be on near mint condition. Tomorrow I'll be on near mint condition. I'll be on near mint condition at noon Eastern, I think, is the Marvel Solicit show. All right. That'll be tomorrow at noon. You know, I love when I do the near mint condition stuff. And then I'll be back Friday with ChubbyRay Comics Live. Goomba Guy says, or JC says, who won the omnibus? Well, Star Wars, the New Republic omnibus was won by Saran. The drawing for the DC versus Amalgam omnibus is April 20th. And then the Patreon giveaway will begin April 21st. All right. There's what we have, omnibus giveaways. And then we have, oh my God, the 5,000 subscriber. We've got 3 omnibuses we're giving away when I hit 5,000 subscribers. And we're already at 4,276 subscribers. So that's what, we're quite a few. We got 700 and we're like 700 and some odd subscribers left to go. So we got a ways. But when we hit 5,000 subscribers, I've got 3 omnibuses. 3 omnibuses that are being given away. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. Federico says he'll be traveling on Friday. Good luck, Federico. I hope you have a good trip wherever you're going. Thanks, everybody. Galandowski says good night, Ray and Chester. Chester says good night. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow on the Near Mint Condition stream, and I'll talk to you Friday here on ChubbyRay Comic Stream. Love you all. You guys are great. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world. And I'll talk to you next stream. Bye-bye, everybody.